What's up, happy people, and welcome to the Redstone User Guide. Before we get started on this introduction video, let me get the explaining part out of the way and tell you who this guide is for. Now, this course is going to be for whomever wants to understand what Redstone does and how to use it. By the end of this course, you should be able to understand what Redstone is, how to interact with it, which blocks do what, and have a good foundation to keep building on. I'll even throw in some pre-made schematics that you can just plop into your world and build whenever you need them. Now, if you're one of the many new players that have just joined the game after the last update, you might be asking yourself, what is Redstone? Why would I even need to take a hacking course on it? Well, let me answer that first. The very fundamentals and core of Redstone is that it behaves similar to electricity. It's the closest comparison I think I can make, even though there are, of course, a lot of differences. But with this electricity, you can make circuits that do things for you, like, for example, opening this door by flicking a lever, powering this piston with a torch. Almost only your imagination is your limit here, and the reason you want to learn Redstone might be that you want to automate your farms for resources, you want to make cool builds with automated doors like this, yeah? Or maybe you want to be like Mumbo Jumbo and make a walking house, or like Tango Tech that literally built Among Us in Minecraft. Whatever it might be, I suggest that you start right here. Now, to get the most out of this course, I suggest that you go through the rest of this video to get a couple of mods installed. Don't freak out, it's not going to be modded Minecraft. These few mods are just so that you can download schematics to your world and place them into your world as a blueprint to follow whenever you want to build something. Now, if you want to get started without any of that stuff, then the first actual technical episode of this course is going to be uploaded about 2 hours after this one. So there will be a card on screen that you can click on right now to jump into that episode if you're watching this in the future. Now, I'm not going to cover how to install Fabric and placing the mods in the mods folder and all of that jazz, but the Fabric mod that I am using for schematics and such is called Litematica. So I will leave the link in the description so that you can get to the correct place on CurseForge to download it. If you do not know how to do this, there are hundreds of good videos on YouTube on how to set it up, so I suggest that you just search for Litematica and follow the instructions. What I will cover is how to use Litematica with this course. I'm also going to link the Litematica documentation and guide video in the description so that you can have a look at that as well. Now, to understand schematics, we need to talk about Litematica for a little bit. Now, Litematica is a fairly straightforward tool once you understand the basic principles. You have an item that is your Litematica wand, and this can be set in the configuration if you want something custom, but by default, it's a stick. So with our stick, you can now see in the bottom left corner of my screen that I have some information. This is telling you, for example, which mode your tool is in. Now, if I press M, I will come into the Litematica menu. Under Area Editor, I need to make sure that my selection mode is simple and that it's set to corner mode corners. I also need to give my selection a name, which I will call Demo 1 in this case, and hit Set. Now, with that done, I can just escape my way out of this, and I can now make my selection. So if I want to create my own schematic, I need to press Ctrl and scroll until my stick is in the correct mode. Now, we want area selection. This is mode number 1, so I don't really need to do anything right now. But if yours is in the wrong mode, you will not be able to, well, select an area. So once my stick is in area selection mode, I can right and left click to define my corners and select an area. So let's test this on the door setup we have right here. I will select from there to there, and now I have a nice little selection that covers all our blocks. Now, once I've selected this, I can go back into my M menu, into Area Editor, and I can save my schematic. So as you can see, it already has the name I gave it earlier. This is done by default. If you want to change it, you can do that here. Also, you have your directory tree here. You don't have any of these folders by default. If you want to sort your schematics properly, then I suggest you make some. I have the Redstone User Guide here, in my demo folder, and I will save demo1 right here. So then I click save, and now I have a schematic. If I want to load this schematic and use it for stuff, I need to escape my way out of here and out of the area editor and go to load schematics. It's the same here. You need to actually browse your way into the folder where you saved it. Then I select it and load schematic. So one thing to note here is that you also have a button called material list. If I press this, it will tell me all of the materials I need to build this. It's very, very handy to have if you're working on big projects, because then you can gather all of your resources before you even start. This will make time lapses and all of that go a lot faster, and it's a lot of fun to have this list of stuff that actually helps you out. So if I now escape my way out of here, you can see that we have this little blob of transparent stuff that has been placed. This is the area we selected. So this is our schematic. Now up in the right corner on the screen, you can see that when I look at this, I get some information. Litematica will actually tell you which block you need to place. If you're looking at it, it will tell you which direction it's pointing and which power level the redstone has, if it's powered or not, and all of this jazz. So if you don't know which block it actually is that you're looking at and what you need to place, you can look up into the right corner and Litematica will tell you. So if I want to start building this, I can go and grab, for example, a lever. I can go grab some redstone and I can start placing this out. Now you see that it gets different colors. I suggest that you go and look at the Litematica video if you are wondering what this is. You can also see it in the settings, but this is just indicating that it's the correct block, but it's in the wrong state. So if I turn this on, then you see that it will remove the transparent stuff over it, and that indicates that it's correct. You have placed what you need. So if I now place these guys and I place a door, that is the wrong placement. There we go. So now I have placed everything I need to place in this schematic, which means I can go to my loaded schematics and, well, I can unload this from earlier, and then I can choose to unload this schematic. But I won't do that yet because I have one more thing that we need to look at, because if you are going through this, you might be in a creative world, and if you are in a creative world, you can actually build this instantly. Now, if you want to build this instantly, you will need to scroll to mode 6, which is grid paste, schematic in world. If you have this selected and you have a loaded schematic, then you can left click somewhere and it will place it right there. Now, if you need to change the direction of things, you can go into your loaded schematic, schematic placement, and then you can configure it here. You can rotate it. You can change where it is by scrolling on these coordinates. You can also lock it. If you have it locked, it's not going to be changing at all. This is very nice if you need to rotate it or anything like that. Once you are happy with your placement, you can lock it, and then you can scroll to mode 5, paste schematic in world. Now, if you use your action button here and just click on this schematic, then you can left click, and then it creates the entire schematic for you. You don't have to place a single block. You don't even need to have them in your inventory. It just does everything for you. This is very handy if you want to paste some schematics into your world that I have given you or that you have downloaded from somewhere else. Now let's have a look at schematics, where to find them, and where to place them if you download something. So online, you can go to sites like, for example, abfielder.com, and you can find schematics that you can just simply download. So in here, we can go to schematics, find ourselves a schematic we want, click download, and simply save the zip file. Now inside of this zip file, you will find a .litematic file. This is the file that is your actual schematics, And if you place this in the correct place, you will get a schematic popping up in your Litematica menu in the game. So now we just go to our Minecraft folder, scroll down to the schematics folder. If you don't have this, you can just create it. And here you will find the same folders that you see in Litematica menu. So I will go to the Redstone User Guide, to Demos, and I will move my Litematic file right into here. You can also, of course, take these .litematic files and send them to your friends and give them the schematics of something you have built. So now that we're back in our Redstone world, let's have a look and see if we can find the schematic that we just added. So if I now go to Load Schematics, in the folder that I put it, I now have a villager statue. If I load this, here we go. It seems like it has some mobs inside of it, that's funny. So now if I go back to paste schematic in world, plop it down there, I now have a villager statue. And this will be the same process for you whenever you grab Litematica files that I make available for you guys, when I go throughout this course. You will be able to download the Litematica files for all of the stuff that we're making in here so that you can play with it yourself. You will also get access to the world download as soon as the series is over. With this information, you should be able to go through the course and use all of the schematics and place them in your own world. If you forget anything, you can always go back into this video and get a refresher on how to do things. And in the next chapter, we're going to take a look at all of the redstone related blocks and what they do. But before you go, I would like to ask you to hit that subscribe button to make sure that you get all the content coming for this series. I've been Jack, and that's it for now. Bye bye!